Have you ever had a chord progression and you start to play it, but it just sounds like a bunch of chords, really clunky, like you play one chord here, another chord here, and they just don't connect together? The good news is that this is a surprisingly simple fix. Now, before we go even further, I want you to hear the difference between not using this technique and then actually using this technique. So here is the same chord progression, not using this technique. And here is that same exact chord progression using this technique. Okay, which one sounds better? That's why you need to keep watching so that you learn the rest of these tricks so that you're going to be able to do this yourself. By the end of this video, you'll be using the technique that professional musicians use to connect chords and make the chord changes sound even better. Let's get started. So today we're going to be playing a chord progression in the key of F major. Let's figure out what that means. It's one of my favorites because it's found between F and F, and it's mostly white notes except for one, and that note is this black note to the left of this B. This is the B flat. What that means is that anytime you're playing in the key of F, you never play a B. That's our forbidden note. And you're always going to play the B flat instead. So let's start out with just one finger, and we're going to play the scale. So there's our B flat, skip over the B. And then you can come back down, do the same thing. That just kind of gets your hands, your ears ready for what we're going to do today. Now, in order to form chords in any key, all you have to do is do every other note in that key. So for example, if we're going to form an F chord in the key of F, we're going to do every other note in that scale, and that will form our chord. So here's our second note, here's our third note, and then every other note is C. So if we do F, A, and C together, that's an F chord. Let's look at our next one, which starts on a G. So every other note in G leads us to the B flat, and then every other note from that one leads us to D. So it's G, B flat, and D. That's how you're forming chords in that key. This chord progression has 4 chords in it. So let's figure out what they look like in this stacked form, which is called the root position. Then I'll show you how to put your both hands together already. So we have our first one, which is F major, and then we're going to go to a D minor. Sometimes beginners don't know about the majors and minors. For now, I'm going to tell you what they are, and we'll talk about that in a later video. But the D, we're going to do every other note in the key of F. So we have D, F, and then A. Put those together, and that's a D minor. Let's go to a G minor now, which is what we just did before. So we have G, B flat, and D. And then our last one is a B flat. So we're going to start on a B flat. Every other note in F is B flat, D, and F. That one feels a little funny because you have your thumb on the B flat, but just practice the way that feels. Let's do that one more time. We have F, D minor, G minor, and then B flat major. And then we're going to end on F. That's how it sounds like it completed the loop. We came back home. Now, automatically, we're going to get 2 hands together, but it's super easy because in your left hand, the only thing that you're going to do is press that first note. So for F, we're just going to press an F. You can use any finger you want, but probably this one will feel the best. F, and then we go to D, and then we go to G, and then we go to B flat. So let's put that together, our chords with our left hand note. So we start with F, and then we go to D, to G minor, and then to B flat. And let's end on F again. Now, in your left hand, you may think, oh, that's way too easy to just do one note, or maybe that's where you want to stay. There's lots of options. If you would like some other option, go ahead and check on this video. It'll give you some different options that you can do in your left hand. But for right now, we're going to focus on the right hand, so you really don't need a lot of craziness going on in the left hand. Now that we have our chords, we're going to figure out how to make them sound less popping around and less bulky and blocky. Because right now, this is what it sounds like. You can hear the potential maybe for a nice song, but right now it just sounds like beginner chords. A lot of beginners get stuck right there. Well, what exactly do I do? And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do it in a way that really helps my visual brain to be able to comprehend. Do me a favor and hit the like button. You can even share it if you want to, but that helps other people just like you find these informative videos that I put out for free for you. And now let's continue. I want you to grab a piece of paper and do this along with me. This is especially a good exercise if you're not quite familiar with chords yet and being able to visualize them on the piano and all the different orders that they can go in. This is going to help you. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to write our chords over here. So I'm going to put an F, and then I'm going to put a D. I'm going to put a little M because that means minor. And really, even though it doesn't matter yet how you form the minor chords and the major chords, you should just get used to putting the little M if it is minor, because then you're learning that the D, F, and A is a D minor. Okay, so we have our F, our D minor, then we have our G minor, and then lastly our B flat. Okay, and now all we're going to do is we're going to write down the notes for each one of them and leave a little bit of space when you do. Okay, so for our first one, F was F, A, and C. I'm going to write this kind of over here, and you'll see why in a minute, but we're going to put F, A, C. Our next one is D minor. We had D, F, and A. So because the F and the A are in common, let's put them in a row with it. Okay, so we have D, F, and then A. So they're in a row. And then we have G minor. That was our G, B flat, and D. D is the common note. Kind of ran out of room here, but it'll be fine. All right, G, B flat, line up the D, D, like that. And then lastly for our B flat, we have B flat, D, and F. So we can line up the B flat here, B flat, D, and F. So now we have our common tones lined up with one another. So we have our Ds and then our B flats. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put the F at the bottom as well, just so that we can see how this B flat lines up with the F as well. So F, A, C, one more time, right here. Okay, so now we can see our common tones that are in each one. This helps you visualize the fact that these are not just chords that are random, but that they do have things in order. Noticed I missed one more common tone, and that's this A. So let's make sure that we've got that as well. And then we have our A down here at the bottom. Okay. Now we have a completed picture. So now that we have our common tones in place, we're going to look at how that matters to us. So one thing about common tones first is understanding that chords, even though, let's look at our F chord, even though we originally formed this with an F, A, and C in that order, that doesn't mean it has to stay in this order. So if we decided to do this C right here down at the bottom, and so we have C, F, and A, that's still an F chord, even though it's not stacked like this. Okay, those are called inversions when you change the order. So each one of these chords can be played in 3 different ways. So we could do that again where we put this A on the bottom here, and we have then A, C, and F. And that's still an F chord, all 3 of those. So I want to look at the different inversions for each one of these chords, just so that you can get a feeling of what they feel like in your hand. So let's start with the F. I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to take the bottom note and put it at the top. That's called our first inversion. And then take the bottom A here and put that at the top. And just kind of feel what they feel like in your hand. And let's do that for each one. So we have our D minor, which was our D, F, and A. Let's put the D at the top. And let's put the F at the top this time. And feel those within your hand. Let's do the same thing with our G minor. G, B flat, and D. Let's take the G off the bottom, put that at the top. And then the B flat from the bottom to the top. Feel those going up and down. And then we have one more, which was our B flat. Let's take this one. We have B flat, D, and F. Take the B flat off the bottom, put it at the top. And then that at the top. Now that we understand that each one of those chords can be played in a multiple different way, I'm going to look at now using our chart. We're going to see how we can make those blocky chords from the beginning better fit into our hand. So let's start with our F, A, and C. We see that our D minor has an F and an A in common. The only other note that we need is a D. And if we take this D down here, this would be hard in order to move your whole hand this way. So instead of that, we see that this D is right nearby. So we're going to just hit that instead. So now we went from an F major to a D minor by only moving one note because those two notes were in common. All right, so now that's what we have for our first one. And now we have our D, F, and A. Our next chord is our G minor, which is G, B flat, and D. That has the D in common. The D is going to stay. So now we need a G and a B flat. So we have a G here and we have B flat here. And so that is another root position or stacked version of our G minor. So let's look at all three of those. F, A, C. And then we're going to go to our D minor, which is our F, A, and D. And then we go to our stacked version of G minor. And now we just have two more to get to the end of our cycle. We have our B flat. Our two common notes are B flat and D. We just need an F, and an F is right here, so we're going to move our thumb down. So we're just moving one note here. And then lastly, we have F, A, and C. F is the common tone, and A is here, and C is here. So let's look at how that is going to work in our right hand using, this is called voice leading, when you figure out which inversions to use. So we have our F chord to D minor, to G minor, B flat, and then F. All right, let's get our left hand involved just with that one note. And to make that more musical, you just need to add some rhythm. There's lots and lots of different right hand rhythmic patterns. In fact, if you would like to learn some of them, check out this video because it's a great one that will help you learn some different rhythms in the right hand. I'm going to show you one more way of starting that is different voice leading for this exact same chord progression, but this time we're going to start with an inversion of the F. So that means instead of doing the F, A, C that is stacked, let's start with a different one. So let's put this C on the bottom. We're going to start here with C, F, and A. So starting here, this is going to look different. Okay, so we still have our two common tones. We still have our F and an A. We just have to move to a D. All right, see that? We just move our thumb. And then we do our G minor. This is G, B flat, and D. And D is the common tone, right? So we keep that, and we just have to move the other things. So we move this up to G, and we move this up to B flat. So we're moving from here to here. And then our B flat, we still have the common tone of the B flat and the D. So we have D, B flat. The only thing that has to move is the F. Like that. So we're just moving one note. And then our F, A, and C again. We have the common tone of the F, so we just have to move this down to A and move this down to C. So let's look at how this changed in our right hand. To D minor, G minor, B flat, and then F. Let's put our left hand with it and hear how this sounds different. This is something that a lot of beginner piano players really have a hard time with. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you have struggled with in the past, and if there's anything else that you'd like me to address in future videos. Until then, check out this video. It's a great next step in your progress, also stays in the same key.